Hi, this is Prashad Parthiban. Today I am going to give 5 quick ideas for a better requirements discussion. These ideas are based on my personal experience working as lead business analyst. Idea number 1. Use low tech for the story discussions. We might have seen a scenario where a business analyst uses tools like Excel or PowerPoint or some other tools like Jira, where in a meeting of 15 people, the BA alone keeps on typing. If there is any changes that we have to make, the BA has to do that. So the remaining 10 or 11 people stare at the PPTs or Excel. Say if you want to make changes in Excel, it is only in tabular column. So those are the pain points when you use tools like Excel or Jira, where you need to stick to one particular format, or it's only one person who keeps on typing. The remaining audience are just staring at the screen or giving inputs to the people who is presenting. So instead, if you use whiteboards like low tech things or sticky notes, it's very easy for people to stand and if someone has to update, they can always come to the whiteboard and they can update it. If you want to draw a simple diagram, you can do it. If you want to put a tabular column, you can add it. The goal here is to share what you want to share. The goal here is not to look at the format issues. So based on my personal experience, I would always recommend to have low-tech whiteboards so that it's easy and also it helps in more interaction among the audiences. The second idea, involve all the roles. It's very important to involve all the roles who will be working on this user story. Say if I have a business analyst, if I have a developer, if I have a QA testing team, it's very important that the entire team is there during the requirements discussion. The reason is, say if you are a BA, you contribute from functional side. If you have a developer can always say that for this particular requirement, if you do a little bit of twist, the development effort can be drastically coming down. Or you may say that it's very challenging to do development for this particular scenario, so that we can come up with some alternate scenarios. Similarly, a QA team can say that based on my past testing experience, the scenario that we are discussing for requirements have never happened, so let's not discuss. So it's very important that you have all the roles, not only QA, dev or BA. If you have someone from business side, like the functional SMEs, so it's very important you involve at least one person for each role. That way there is no gap in the requirements discussion. So we basically call this as 3 amigos, where developer, QA and BA discusses together, but it cannot be just 3 amigos, it can be 5 amigos or 6 amigos. The goal is to have all the roles who are going to develop the story, or at the same time who is going to approve the story. Third one is measure alignment using feedback exercises. The typical way of requirements discussion is a BA is going to discuss requirements with the inputs from the business. At the end of the session, BA is going to ask the audience, asking if everyone understood the story or not. The practical scenario is out of 10 people, 7 people or 6 people would have understood it. The remaining 2 people may have not got all the inputs, but due to some peer pressure or maybe their manager would have been in the meeting, they do not want to ask some basic questions, so they don't even ask the questions and they simply say, yes, I understood it. Similarly, somebody might have thought that they understood it, but the understanding will be totally different from what we expected. So what typically I try to do is, I try to have something like feedback exercise, like maybe a question which can help the BA to know if everyone understood or not. Like say if you are gathering a requirement for a submission in property and casualty, you can ask a basic question. If the submission is not favorable to the insurance company, do we need to decline or do we need to assign it to the underwriters? Something like that, and ask the team to respond without showing to each and everyone else in the meeting. So once they respond at the same time, so you can look at the answers. If you think that their answers are not as per the expectation, you can clarify those questions and then make sure they answer the question back. The goal here is to make sure that everyone in the meeting pays attention. At the same time, they understand what is intended for the meeting. Fourth one is diverge and merge. So we have seen this scenario where there are scenarios people with 20 people in the meeting and the meeting is just for 1 hour or 2 hours. If you have 20 people or 15 people, it's very impossible for everyone to contribute. So the goal here is, if you have more audience, split the team, like maybe have 5 people team into 4 segments, so that each team discusses the requirements offline. They come up with concrete examples, and then maybe after the their individual meetings, you can diverge and then share their examples. That way you can understand what is the gap or what is the common understanding. So one more advantage of this is, if you have 5 people in a team, their thinking process, their understanding process may be totally different from the other team. So you're getting perspective from multiple different people and then merging it together. When you do that, there could be multiple scenarios that you can think about. Instead of having one meeting with all 20 people where each one cannot contribute individually. Imagine the demonstration. We all know, if you are in true agile process, the goal of each sprint is to demo the functionality, completed functionality to the business. So whenever you start with the requirements discussion, you need to think, okay, what are we going to demo to the business? What is the happy path? What is the edge cases? So when you have that in mind, your discussions are going to be aligning to the expectation of the business. So it's very important, like it's a kind of acceptance criteria which you do it at the end. Instead of that, when you think about it, okay, what are we going to demo? What are we going to not demo? So those kind of thinking process will really help us to go in the right direction. So pretty much these are the quick ideas that I would like to share based on my experience. In my next training video, I will share a few more ideas. So the goal here is to make sure whenever you have a requirements discussion, you follow the simple steps which can optimize the requirements discussion process. I hope you like my training video. If you like my training videos, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.